If you have an air freshener plugged into the wall right now or a spray can sitting on your bathroom shelf, I need you to stop for just a moment and listen to this. What I'm about to tell you might be a little uncomfortable to hear, but I promise you, by the end of this video, you are going to feel so much better about your home and honestly, a little bit proud of yourself for making a small change that makes a big difference. Here's the truth nobody tells you at the store. Those sweet-smelling plug-ins, those pretty spray bottles labeled fresh linen or ocean breeze, and even those cute little reed diffusers sitting on your coffee table, they are not actually cleaning your air. In fact, many independent studies have found that they can make the air inside your home worse, sometimes by several times over compared to a home with no air freshener at all. I know, it sounds almost backwards. We buy these products because we want our homes to smell clean and inviting for our family, for our grandkids when they visit, for our friends when they stop by for coffee. But what if I told you that the very thing you're using to make your home smell nice is quietly filling the air with tiny particles and chemicals that your lungs really don't want to be breathing in, especially as we get a little older and our bodies need a little extra care? Stick with me here, because this is not going to be one of those videos that just scares you and leaves you hanging. I'm going to walk you through exactly why this happens, in plain, simple language, no confusing science talk. And then, more importantly, I'm going to show you exactly what to do instead. We're talking about simple, safe, inexpensive methods using things you probably already have in your kitchen cabinet right now. No special equipment, no expensive gadgets, no complicated steps. Just easy, sensible, real solutions that actually work and that you can start using today. So grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's talk about how to make your home smell wonderful the right way. Problem explanation. Let's slow down and really understand what's going on here, because once you understand the why, the solution is going to make complete sense to you. Most air fresheners, whether they're the plug-in kind, the spray kind, or even some of the scented candles you might have around the house, work by releasing tiny chemical compounds into the air. These are often called volatile organic compounds, or VOCs for short. You don't need to remember that term, just know that it basically means small chemical particles that float around in the air you breathe, often for hours after you've sprayed or plugged in the product. And here's the part that really surprised me when I first learned about it. These products don't get rid of odors. They don't clean the air at all. What they actually do is release a stronger scent that overpowers your sense of smell so that you simply stop noticing the bad smell. The bad smell is still there. The stale air is still there. The particles causing that musty or stuffy feeling are still floating around your living room or your bathroom. All the air freshener did was add another layer of chemical fragrance on top of it, kind of like spraying perfume over dirty laundry instead of actually washing it. And here's where the real concern comes in. Several research groups, including environmental health researchers, have measured indoor air quality in homes before and after using common air fresheners. What they found was that the level of fine particles and certain chemical compounds in the air actually increased significantly, in some cases up to 5 times higher than before the product was used. That's not a typo, 5 times worse. These fine particles are so small that they can bypass a lot of your body's natural defenses and travel deep into your lungs. For younger folks, this might just cause mild irritation, but for those of us over 50, especially if you have any sensitivity around your sinuses, your throat, or your breathing, this can genuinely make you feel worse without you even realizing the air freshener is the reason why. Think about how many times you've walked into a room, taken a deep breath of that clean linen scent, and maybe felt a slight tickle in your throat or a tiny headache creeping up later in the day. Most people never connect the dots. They just assume it's allergies or getting older or the weather changing, but often it's the very product sitting right there on the shelf that's supposed to be making things better. There's another piece to this puzzle too. Many of these air fresheners contain a chemical called phthalates, which help the scent stick around longer in the air. These compounds have been studied quite a bit, and while companies aren't required to list every single ingredient on the label because of how fragrance formulas are protected, health researchers have raised concerns about long-term exposure, especially in enclosed spaces like a bedroom or a small bathroom where the air doesn't circulate very much. Now, I want to be very clear about something. I am not here to scare you or tell you that you did something wrong by using these products. Almost everyone has used an air freshener at some point, myself included. These products are marketed so well. They're at every single grocery store checkout line, and the commercials make them look so appealing. This isn't about blame. This is simply about knowledge. Once you know better, you can do better. And that's exactly what we're going to do together right now. So here's the real question we should be asking. If air fresheners aren't actually cleaning the air and might even be making things worse, what should we be doing instead to get that truly clean, fresh-smelling home that we all want? That's exactly what I'm going to show you step by step in just a moment. But here's the part most people miss, and it's honestly the most important lesson in this whole video. Real freshness doesn't come from a can. It comes from actually addressing where the odor is coming from in the first place, combined with a few natural tricks that have been used for generations, long before spray cans even existed. Our grandparents knew how to keep a home smelling wonderful without any of this stuff, and today I'm going to bring some of that simple wisdom back to you. What you need. The best part about the method I'm going to show you today is that you probably already have most of these items sitting in your kitchen or your pantry right now. There is nothing expensive here, nothing hard to find, and nothing complicated. That's exactly how I like it, and I know that's exactly how you like it too. Here is what you'll want to gather before we begin. First, you'll need plain white vinegar, the kind you can find at any grocery store for just a couple of dollars. Don't worry, we are not going to leave your house smelling like vinegar. I'll explain exactly why in a moment. Second, grab a box of baking soda, the same kind you might already keep in your refrigerator to absorb odors. Third, you'll want some fresh lemons if you have them, or even just lemon juice from a bottle works in a pinch. Fourth, gather a few whole cloves and a cinnamon stick if you have them in your spice cabinet, though this is optional and just adds a lovely cozy scent. Fifth, you will need a couple of small bowls or mason jars that you don't mind using for this purpose. Sixth, grab a spray bottle, the kind you can buy for $1 or $2 at almost any store, or you may already have an empty one from a cleaning product you finished using. And finally, if you have any essential oils on hand, such as lavender, eucalyptus, or lemon, those are a wonderful natural addition, though completely optional if you don't have any. That's genuinely it. No special trip to a specialty store required. Everything on this list is something you can find at your regular grocery store, and most of it costs just a few dollars total. Compare that to the $8 or $9 you might spend on a can of air freshener that only lasts a couple of weeks and might actually be working against you the whole time. This method is not only healthier, it's also going to save you money in the long run, and I think that's something we can all appreciate. Now let's get into exactly how to use these simple ingredients to transform the air quality in your home one easy step at a time. Step-by-step process. Step 1. Open up and let your home breathe. Before we do anything else, and I really want you to remember this step because it's the one people skip the most, we need to let some fresh outdoor air actually circulate through your home. I know if it's very cold outside or very hot and humid, this might sound uncomfortable, but even just 5 to 10 minutes with a window cracked open, especially in the morning, makes a remarkable difference. Open a couple of windows on opposite sides of your home if you can, even just a little bit. This creates a gentle cross breeze that pushes out stale, trapped air and pulls in fresh air from outside. This alone does more for your indoor air quality than any spray or plug-in ever could, because it's genuinely removing the stale air instead of just masking it with a stronger scent. Do this for just a few minutes each day, even in the cooler months, and you will notice a difference within just a few days. Step 2. Find the real source of the odor. Here's the part most people miss entirely, and it's honestly the secret behind everything else we're going to do today. Instead of reaching for a spray to cover up a smell, take a moment to actually find out where that smell is coming from. Is it the kitchen trash can that needs to be taken out? Is it a laundry hamper that's been sitting a little too long? Is it your refrigerator, which can hold on to odors from food more than you'd think? Is it your carpet or your favorite armchair, which can soak up smells over time, especially if you have pets? Walk through your home for just a couple of minutes and take note of where the smell seems strongest. This little detective work makes everything else so much more effective because once you know the actual source, you can treat it directly instead of just spraying perfume into the air and hoping for the best. Step 3. Make your own odor-absorbing baking soda bowls. This is one of the simplest and most effective tricks there is, and it's been used in homes for decades because it genuinely works. Take a small bowl or an open mason jar and fill it about halfway with plain baking soda. If you'd like a light, pleasant scent, add just 5 to 10 drops of your favorite essential oil. Lavender is wonderful for bedrooms, and lemon or eucalyptus works beautifully in bathrooms and kitchens. Give it a gentle stir with a spoon. Now place this bowl in the area where you noticed the odor was strongest, whether that's near the kitchen trash can, inside a closet, in the bathroom, or even in the refrigerator itself. Baking soda is what's called a natural odor absorber, meaning it actually pulls in and neutralizes the molecules causing bad smells, rather than covering them up with something stronger. This is a completely different process than what an air freshener does, and it's why this method actually improves your air instead of adding more particles into it. Simply replace the baking soda every 3 to 4 weeks, or whenever you notice it's not working as well. Step 4. Create a simple simmer pot for natural, cozy fragrance. If you love the idea of your home smelling wonderful, this next step is going to become one of your favorites, and it's something people have done in their kitchens for generations, long before any spray can existed. Take a small pot, fill it about 3/4 full of water, and place it on your stove on the lowest heat setting. Add a few slices of fresh lemon if you have them, a cinnamon stick, and a few whole cloves. If you don't have all of these ingredients, don't worry. Even just lemon slices alone smell absolutely wonderful. Let this simmer gently on low heat for about 20 to 30 minutes with the pot uncovered. As the water gently steams, it carries these natural, real scents throughout your kitchen and into nearby rooms. This is not a chemical fragrance being sprayed into your air. It's simply the natural aroma from real ingredients being gently released into the air through steam, the same way your kitchen smells wonderful when you're baking something delicious. Just remember to keep an eye on the water level and never leave the stove unattended while it's simmering, and turn off the heat once you're done enjoying the scent. Step 5. Make a natural vinegar and citrus cleaning spray. Now, let's talk about that spray bottle I mentioned earlier, because this next step is going to replace your chemical air freshener spray entirely. And it works even better because it's actually cleaning surfaces at the same time, not just masking odors in the air. Fill your spray bottle about halfway with plain white vinegar. Then fill the rest of the way with water. Add the peel of 1 lemon if you have it, or about 10 to 15 drops of lemon essential oil. Give the bottle a good shake before each use. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Vinegar has a strong smell all on its own. But here's the wonderful thing. That vinegar smell disappears completely within just a few minutes as it dries, and it takes the bad odors with it. Use this spray on kitchen counters, bathroom surfaces, doorknobs, and even lightly mist it in the air of a room that needs freshening. Vinegar is naturally acidic, which means it actually breaks down and neutralizes the bacteria and mold spores that cause a lot of household odors in the first place, especially in bathrooms and kitchens. This is completely different from an air freshener, which does nothing to address bacteria or mold. It simply adds fragrance on top of the problem. With this spray, you're solving the actual issue. Step 6. Freshen your fabrics the natural way. A lot of household odors actually live in our fabrics without us realizing it. Things like curtains, couch cushions, and even the fabric on our favorite reading chair. Take a moment to sprinkle a light layer of plain baking soda over your couch cushions, your favorite chair, or even your mattress. Let it sit for about 15 to 20 minutes so it has time to absorb any trapped odors. Then simply vacuum it up. This is such a gentle, simple step, but it makes a remarkable difference, especially if you have pets or if certain rooms tend to feel a little stuffy. For curtains, you can lightly mist them with that vinegar and citrus spray we made in Step 5. Just a light mist from a distance is enough, no need to soak the fabric. Step 7. Take care of your trash and recycling areas. This might sound like such a small thing, but it makes a bigger difference than you'd expect. Take out your kitchen trash a little more frequently than you might currently be doing, especially in warmer months. Rinse out your trash can every couple of weeks with that vinegar spray and let it air dry completely before putting a new bag in. You can even sprinkle a small amount of baking soda in the bottom of the trash can under the bag to help absorb odors between takeouts. This one simple habit prevents a lot of the odors that people try to cover up with air fresheners in the first place. Step 8. Let houseplants help you naturally. If you enjoy having a little greenery around your home, certain houseplants are wonderful, gentle helpers when it comes to improving indoor air quality. Plants like peace lilies, spider plants, and pothos are known for being easy to care for and can help filter certain particles from the air naturally over time. This isn't an instant fix like the other steps, but it's a lovely, natural addition to your overall approach, and it adds a bit of life and beauty to your home at the same time. Even just 1 or 2 plants in your living room or kitchen can be a wonderful, gentle complement to everything else we've talked about today. Final results. Now, let's talk about what you can actually expect once you start putting these simple steps into practice, because I want you to have a realistic picture of what real, honest results look like. Within just the first few days of opening your windows regularly and placing baking soda bowls in key areas, you're going to notice something wonderful. Your home is going to smell genuinely clean rather than artificially covered up. There's a real difference between a home that smells fresh because the air has actually been cleaned and a home that smells like a candle shop because it's covered in fragrance. Once you experience the first kind, you'll never want to go back to the second. By the end of the first week, especially once you've identified and treated the actual sources of odor in your home, whether that was the trash can, the refrigerator, or a fabric chair, you should notice that the smell doesn't come back the way it used to after using a spray. That's the real difference here. Air fresheners only last a few hours before the smell fades and the underlying odor creeps back. But when you actually address the source and use natural absorbers like baking soda, the results last so much longer, often for weeks at a time. Many people who've switched to this kind of natural approach also mention that they simply feel a little better day to day. Less of that occasional scratchy throat feeling, less of that mild headache that used to show up in the evenings without any clear explanation. Now, I want to be honest and reasonable here. I'm not a doctor and everyone's body is different, but it makes sense when you think about it. If you're no longer breathing in a steady stream of chemical particles every single day in your own living room, your body has one less thing to deal with, and that's simply a good thing at any age, especially as we get a little older and want to take extra good care of ourselves. And here's a lovely bonus that a lot of people don't expect. Because this method actually involves simmering lemons and cinnamon on your stove and using natural, fresh ingredients throughout your home, many people say their house doesn't just smell clean, it smells warm and inviting, like a home where someone truly cares, the kind of scent that makes guests comment the moment they walk through your front door. That's such a different feeling than the sometimes overwhelming, almost chemical sweetness of a plug-in air freshener. Maintenance tips. To keep these wonderful results going long-term, here are a few simple habits worth building into your regular routine. Try to open your windows for just a few minutes every day if weather allows. Even in cooler months, just cracking them for 5 minutes makes a difference. Replace your baking soda bowls every 3 to 4 weeks and keep your vinegar spray bottle handy under the sink so it's easy to grab whenever you're doing your regular light cleaning. Make the simmer pot a lovely weekly ritual, perhaps on a Sunday afternoon while you're relaxing at home. It becomes something to look forward to rather than a chore. And once a month, take a few extra minutes to check those common odor spots we talked about earlier, the trash can, the refrigerator, the laundry hamper, just to stay a step ahead of any buildup before it starts. The wonderful thing about this whole approach is that none of it requires a lot of time or effort once you get into the rhythm of it. These become small, easy habits woven into your regular routine, rather than one more complicated chore on your to-do list. So there you have it, a completely natural, safe, and genuinely effective way to keep your home smelling wonderfully fresh without relying on air fresheners that might actually be working against you.
I know it can feel a little surprising to learn that something so calming in almost every household might not be as harmless as we once thought, but I hope this video has left you feeling empowered rather than worried, because now you have simple, real solutions that you can start using today, using things you likely already have right in your own kitchen. I'd absolutely love to hear from you in the comments below. Let me know if you decide to try this method, and if you do, come back and tell me how your home smells after just a few days. I promise you're going to be pleasantly surprised. And if you already have a favorite natural trick of your own for keeping your home smelling fresh, please share it below. I always love learning new tips from all of you, and I know other viewers will appreciate it too. If you found this video helpful, I would be so grateful if you hit that like button. It really does help this video reach more people who could use this information. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing and tapping that little bell icon. That way you'll be notified the moment I post my next cleaning video. And trust me, we have some wonderful, simple home tips coming up next that I know you're going to love. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Taking care of your home is really about taking care of yourself and the people you love, and I'm so glad you're here on this journey with me. I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon.